Welcome in, Clipper Nation. Check, check, 1, 2. Why am I not hearing anything? Are you guys hearing anything? I gotta figure this thing out. What is going on around here? Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. Check, check. Check, 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 check. There we go. 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 Why do I got 2 cameras up here? Oh, I see why. I opened 2 tabs. After dark. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Chat, are we up? Are we up? Are we still up? Because I am. Is this going to be the 24-hour Clippers talk? Is tonight the night? As I send a link out to Big Chuck Mockler, who I hear might still be up. I am hyped. And I just listened to Coach Lou, and I just listened to Norman Powell and James Harden postgame, so I can bring you some tidbits from that. Are you guys hear the sound of victory? Are you hyped? James Worthy clap. I couldn't be more pleased with this squad. I bleep and love this team. I do. I've been saying it for about a week now. I love this Clippers team. They are so easy to root for. They are making this so easy on Clipper Nation to fall in love with this team. Number one, they play defense. They play hard. Number two, they are maximizing their abilities on the offensive end. James Harden has been spectacular. Where is Sam Sanatorium? What happened to the casuals out there? Saying it's just ISO ball and James Harden just dribbles too much and I can't watch. Do you like watching a team that's 13-9 without Kawhi Leonard? You think any of this would be happening without James Harden? James Harden has to be in MVP conversations now. It is time. Get him in. Get James Harden in these MVP conversations. He just had 43 and now 39 against Denver. At 35, he just out-dueled Nikola Jokic. What are we talking about? At 35, James is doing this? The legs are coming around? He talked about it post-game? Norman Powell's back? Back? Looked fantastic in his first game? After missing the last 6? I don't know, man. This Clippers team is special. Chuck Mockler and I were just talking about it, just texting about it. I hope he comes on because he said something really interesting. I mean this in the best possible way, or in the best way possible. I have no idea what to make of this Clippers team. I responded with, if they get Kawhi back and right, they can come out the West. And I fully believe that. Now, I have my doubts about if Kawhi can come back and they can get the knee under control for a sustained period of time. But if he can, if they can figure this out, the ceiling is the roof, as Jordan once said. Don't put a cap on this team. They can come out the West. They can. You know what's funny about this deck of Fantastic? I might have to out my guy Jason Smith at Fox Sports Radio. Because he said something so heinous, and I thought it was at the time, and I called him out for this once before. He said something so heinous, so low level about James Harden, so casual in that contract this offseason that I almost fell out of my damn chair. And I don't want to have to pull a receipt on a guy like this. I love Jason. But I don't forget. I do not forget these things. Jason Smith said that was the worst signing and the worst contract this offseason. What? How on earth could you think a 1-in-1 contract for $35 million could be the worst contract this offseason? It's a 1-in-1. How? How could you possibly think that's the worst signing? I'm going to repost it. He said this. I'm going to show this to you. Jason Smith of Fox Sports Radio. This is just, I'm sorry. There's no getting around it. He said it on July 2nd. Worst NBA contract so far. James Harden. I can't ever take the Clippers seriously as title contenders because they just want to be relevant. They don't want to be the life of the party. They just want to get invited. How could $35 million for James Harden on a 1+1 contract be the worst? Do I retweet this? Do I dare? Should I? Am I feeling spicy tonight? I can't help myself sometimes. Should I wait? Should I do it later when it's even more obvious? How can this be the worst contract? I guess I have to. I just did so because if I don't, somebody else is, and then I'll be upset because I showed this to you guys. How could that be the worst signing? Jason, you're better in this. Jason Smith, you're better in this. You are. A 1+1? How could that be the worst signing? I had to do it. I had to do it. I love Jason Smith dearly. But my God, what a terrible take. My God, what an old take's exposed. I just retweeted it at Follow Out of May so you guys can see it. I don't forget anything, and I don't forgive anything. I'm just kidding. I don't get mad. I get even. Come on. Come on. Even if the Clippers were 9-13, it still can't be the worst contract. For 1 year, basically, is a 1+1. Even if he opted in after having a bad first season, let's say, and he opts in, that's $35 million for James Harden? Are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. Deca Fantastic said, Sith voice, do it. Let the hate flow through you. I'm a sick man. And I love Jason Smith. But what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? You guys can tag Old Takes Exposed. It's still early in the season, but there's just no universe where that could end up being the worst contract, the worst NBA contract. You know what's looking like the worst right now? This offseason? Paul George's contract. Over $200 million. He'll be 37, 38 by the end of it. Any 1+1 cannot be the worst contract in the NBA. I don't care if it ended up being a bust this year. If James Harden looked old, if he looked terrible, it's still a 1+1. Who cares? It was worth the shot. You can't call that on July 2nd the worst contract. Guys, I wondered, the further he got away from that hamstring injury he had with the Brooklyn Nets this offseason, if he could get some of that burst back. He came in lighter, and it looks like it right now. This is the most explosive he has looked in a Clippers uniform. It is. He's blowing by guys left and right. I may have to old takes myself because I haven't been believing so much that James Harden, and it's about season legs kicking in, and that's why his shooting has been so poor. My theory was it's just he's asked to do way too much at the age of 35. But season legs might be kicking in. So I might have been wrong about that. You guys want to hear from James Harden post game? I got some stuff for you. I can give it to you here. Oh, I'm not gonna stand for these commercials. I gotta sign into my Gmail account. Because I do pay. It's one of the better things I've done. Once you do it, you'll never go back. You pay for the YouTube premium. I don't care. They're not paying me to say this. But paying for YouTube premium has been more than worth it because I don't have to deal with the commercials anymore. I want to hear from James Harden post game on his legs.
Took 15 today. Just your shot profile so far this season. How have you felt about it? Have you gotten the spots that you wanted? I know you don't.
So Coach Lou talked about them wanting James Harden to get up at least 10 threes per game. 10 or more.
Come on, more. Ty mentioned you getting up about 10, 11 threes a game. Took 15 today. Just your shot profile so far this season. How have you felt about it? Have you gotten the spots that you wanted? I know you don't got your legs under the other season has gone on, but shot profile.
I'm feeling a lot better. My legs are starting to. For an older guy in this league, 16.
He didn't want to say for an old guy. He refuses to say he's old. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I asked Coach Lou about what was going on in second quarters, where basically most of his efficiency dip was coming because at one point in second quarters, he was like 8 for 40. It was tanking his efficiency. And Coach Lou did everything to not say that it's because he's older. And that break between the end of the first quarter to getting back in around the 6-minute mark of the second quarter means he has to ramp back up again, get his win back.
15 years in this.
Took 15 today. Just
there he is again.
Your shot profile so far this season. How have you felt about it? Have you gotten the spots that you wanted? I know you don't got your legs under the other season has gone on, but shot profile.
I'm feeling a lot better. My legs are starting to. For an older guy in this league, 16 years in this league, it takes me a little bit more time to get, acclimated, especially, my role has changed. I haven't had this role in, 4 or 5 years. So it's going to take me some time to get there. But you guys should see us, game by game, I continue to get better. And, I'll eventually put a lot more efficiency and less turnovers. But, at this point, just finding ways to win games, that's the most important thing. And especially now having Norm back, it just made my job a lot easier. So tonight was one of those games where you find a way to win, and that's all that matters.
Incredible. It's incredible. At 35 doing this. He's older. It takes longer, he said. He'll get more efficient. He'll turn the ball over less. I told you guys all last season. You know what camp I was in between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Imagine thinking Russ should have been starting over James Harden, and then they go on a 26-5 run. And still Russ stands were doubling and tripling down. And yeah, Dime Dropper was more of a fan of Russ's style of play. He never said he's better than James Harden, but I don't get it. I'm a fan of winning. I don't care about style of play as much. Yeah, there's something to it being aesthetically pleasing, and I get what people talk about sometimes. They call him the dribbler. Dribbling the air out of the ball, too much ISO. I don't care. It works, and it's exactly what the Clippers need. I've said multiple times, I don't know where they'd be without James Harden. Would they score 85 points in a game? Maybe. Russ stand down. It's over. It's been over. Russ tonight, he did get Clipper Nation free chicken. Missed 2 free throws. I think he started like 0 of 5 from the field, smoking layups, missing wide open threes. They're not guarding him. It's the same old stuff. I know he's been better as of late with Denver, but I'm a fan of a winning style of play. And Russ is just far too erratic for me. I don't care about energy. I care about execution much more. That's the position I've always had in this debate. So, yeah. It's good to be on the right side of history being a James Harden fan over a Russ fan. Wish him the best of luck. Hey, if they can win the championship, if Jokic wins a championship with Russell Westbrook, then put him in the top 5 all-time conversation immediately. Because it seems like it's challenging at times playing with Russ and just his style of play where he's playing at a breakneck speed. He's too fast for his own good. He smokes layups all the time. He's competitive to a fault at times where he gets so into one-on-one matchups and the challenge of, oh, they're daring me to shoot a 3, so I'm going to take it. I don't know. I think James Harden plays a higher IQ brand of basketball. I respect Russ. He's an all-time great. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But stylistically between the two, that doesn't take priority over just, well, I want the guy who's going to help win more, who has, the higher floor being raised on this team offensively, who plays in more control or in a more controlled fashion. And I don't know. We haven't even seen the best of James Harden, I think, so far this season. Yeah, let's talk about that comeback in the third because Coach Lee brought that up post-game. Those threes, I want to say they went 6 of 9 from 3 in the third quarter. Huge, huge shots. They were down by 10. Remember, they led by 11 early on, but a 17-2 run in the second quarter by Denver had the game tied at the half at 59. But the Clippers got down by 10. It's 80-70 after Christian Brown got a bucket. Boom. Norman Powell three-pointer. Answered by Peyton Watson. Down 10 again. Boom. Norman Powell three-pointer. 83-76. Jokic, turnover. James Harden three-pointer. 83-79. Peyton Watson, dunk. Boom. James Harden three-pointer. 85-82. Aaron Gordon turnover. Norman Powell with the steal. Gets the bucket. 85-84. Michael Porter Jr. misses 2 free throws. Norman Powell three-pointer. Clippers back up. 87-85. Russ, the lone 3 he did make, came right afterwards. 88-87 Denver. Then James Harden another 3. 90-88. Jokic, a 2-pointer. 90 all. But Terrence Mann, that fall away in the far side short corner to make it 92-90 was a very significant shot to end that third. But the Clippers go from being, let's see, down 10 at the 4:52 mark. Actually, I guess I can go even further. Down 10 at the 4:10 mark, 83-73, to how long did it take them to get the lead back here? That was at 4:10. And at the 1:39 mark, less than 3 minutes later, they have the lead at 87-85. Unreal. Norm, James Harden, huge threes. Norm had 3 of them. James Harden had 2. And Norm had another bucket after a steal. That's the game. That's probably the biggest stretch right there. At least up till that point, without a doubt. Jack Coughlin giving himself a lot of credit. That first caller, that was him, post-game. She was listening on AM 570. Harden is firmly entrenched in the MVP race. We saw Jordan Miller run point a little bit. Terrence Mann had to run some point because no KPJ, and when Harden wasn't out there on the floor, which didn't occur at all in the second half. He played the entire second half. Like, that was heroic. What a badass. Stump said Terrence Mann shot gave me life. That 3 in the far side corner, that was the biggest shot of the game. Put him up 7. Nick Ramos said this year's Clippers have been the most exciting to watch in a while. Even when they win or lose, they're always in and fighting. Different energy this year. Yeah. They're bringing the fight. G-Master said, I said it a long time ago. This is our time. Enjoy the ride. Hashtag go Clips go. They still need Kawhi healthy to have a shot at a championship, but everything else is there. It is. Holo Dolo said, huge shout out to T-Man for showing up tonight. Shout out to Harden for playing the entire second half. Your boy Reezy said, James Harden, oh Lord. Maybe I should respond to a guy who was talking a bunch of junk about Harden earlier today to me. He's not getting it to Zoo enough. Stop acting like he's been perfect. Who is this guy? His name is, I think it's David. David R-LW4HQ was talking all this stuff. Not his night. He's not a Harden fan. He's going to have to take the L. I think he said something in a comment section on Locked On Clippers. Maybe I could respond to that. Eddie Freddy Adam is here because I'm keeping receipts on these guys. Harden's defense at times was really good too. He clamped Jamal Murray in the far side corner at one point. I'm not kidding. Clamped. I'll let it go. Protect the dome. 8 in a row. Robert said, can we get this version of T-Man at least once out of every 3 games? Is it a turning point, his performance tonight? I hope so. F Retro said, also love the Norm dig about playing the right way. I didn't see a real dig, or I didn't hear it that way. Deca Fantastic said, I love that Norm waited to come back fully healthy. That's the way we can build momentum. It's the same with Kawhi, right? Want to be able to get them back and keep them back. I can't believe I retweeted Jason Smith like that, but I had to. I can't forget. Maybe he'll have me on the show. I love Jason Smith, but it was asinine when he said it and looks even worse now. Even if James Harden was playing bad, a 1+1 contract, that's the worst of the offseason? How could that ever be the case? You get out of it pretty quick. Your boy Reezy said, did 35-year-old James Harden outplay the best player in the league today? What the F did I just watch? Oh, you watched that. Nikola Jokic only had 9 points in the second half after 19 in the first half. Granted, he kept them afloat when they were down 11-2 early. Jokic just took over. I think he looked a little bit gassed. Big Brother Jake was talking about it post-game too. I think it took a lot out of him early to get them back in the game after they were down by 11 early. It was all Jokic getting them back into it. G-Master said, and if Kawhi can play at least after the All-Star break, we on. I think they'll need him before the All-Star break. I'm hoping by January. If he comes back late December, this month now, or early January, Clippers in business. They have a 13-game stretch, or sorry, a 13-day stretch, 13-game stretch. Let's not put that out there, Adam. Let's not give the NBA any ideas when it comes to scheduling in the Clippers. They might try that. 13 straight games. A 13-day stretch in December coming up where they only have 3 games. How about them apples? Your boy, I already read this. Wrestling Go Crazy said, they just mad because Harden cooking. Holo Dolo said, not a single person has claimed Harden to be perfect, LOL. People making stuff up to hate is weird. That's what some people do. This guy David is, it's called a straw man argument. You build up an argument that someone else didn't even make and attack that because you can't attack their actual argument. Deca Fantastic said, Harden playing second half made a lot of sense for playing the whole second half. With Norm on a minutes restriction, Ty Lue was cooking. Ty Lue has been cooking. Jack said, forget addition by subtraction. It's looking like multiplication by subtraction. Les said, do you interview players and staff after games? No, because I'm at the radio. I'm on the radio side. Unfortunately, I don't get to be in the locker room. It's not unfortunate. It's just I'm doing the radio stuff, which I love doing because I get to talk to you guys. I leave that to the professionals like Law Murray. Pre-game, I'll ask Coach Lue questions. And on media day, I'll ask players questions and stuff. But post-game, it's Clippers talk, baby. Retro said, Bamba actually did a fairly good job on Jokic. He did. Someone said Jokic hitting the Thanksgiving leftovers. They had 3 days off, Denver, by the way. They had the rest advantage. They were waiting. ST said if MVP was based on value per dollar, coffee would win hands down. Most bang for your buck, Amir Coffee. Folger soldier. Jack said, I want to come say what up to you next time I'm at the game. Please do. We're in section 25. We're up there. You can see us. It's the whole media row, TV, everything. Deca Fantastic said, if Coffee is resting for a game, let's get him on Clippers Radio. Oh, that's right. He is a part of Clippers Radio. We found that out. I love that clip. Oh, God bless Amir Coffee. Oh, and by the way, he's fine. He's okay. He just banged knees. He's okay, guys. Amir Coffee's good. Coach Lue just rode the hot hand. Terrence Mann. He's been doing it all season. Who's playing best tonight? You'll get more minutes later in the game. Great concept, right? Simple as that. Whoever's having the best night plays late. Hello Dolo said, I also thought Nico was incredible again today. He had a couple of tip outs, I believe, to save possessions. So did Ivica Zubac. Those little tip out offensive rebounds. Let's hear. Okay, so I have some notes here as I was listening on the drive of some of the stuff Coach Lue talked about. First of all, we just went over it. Them being down 10 and the response from the Clippers was tremendous when they got down 10. And the last couple of games, same thing against Minnesota, guys. They got down double digits twice and battled back. They have shown great fight and resiliency and poise when they get down double digits or when they get down. They just immediately have a response. He said Amir was okay. He talked about post-game Coach Lue, how well James Harden's been leading. Talked about challenging Jordan Miller defensively and also said he has earned his trust. It's just a numbers game. It depends on how many guys are healthy when it comes to Jordan Miller minutes. But he has earned Coach Lue's trust. That's big. He said it was Mann's best game. I said it too. He was decisive out there. He also said Norman Powell has always been this good. He just needed the opportunity. He talked about leaving James Harden in to make that run without Jokic, something we talked about while it was happening on the radio. Thought that was the logic. Oh, Jokic is out. Keep the pedal to the metal. Keep Harden in the ball game. Open this up a little bit. Yes, Norm was on a minutes restriction. Coach Lue said, I think this is the quote, the wall was spectacular and has been spectacular. He credited the fans for this 8-game winning streak. Talked about Terrence Mann playing some point. They had to figure things out without Kevin Porter Jr. Now, James Harden post-game talked about getting to 3,000 three-pointers. It's a testament to the work he's put in. Someone also was talking about him going back to being more of a passer now than a scorer, and James was quick to correct him, rightfully so, that he does both. He talked about the defense. The defense dictates what he has to do every possession, and that is the brilliance of James Harden. That's why he's an offense unto himself, guys, because he balances figuring out when to take over, when to take shots, and when to get others involved. And it's just reading the defense. And there have not been many in NBA history better than him in that area. He mentioned about getting up more three-pointers, and in this game, he took 15, hit 6 of them. He said his legs feel better. We just heard that audio. I'll reiterate again how James Harden pointed out that better efficiency and less turnovers are coming, because he's a little bit older, it takes longer. What was this? Game 22 tonight? Tomer also asked about the team and where they feel they're at without Kawhi Leonard and how they're now 13-9. And James Harden talked about how frustrated they've actually been because they feel like they could have a few more victories, just like fans feel. And he noted how other teams, feel the same way. Of course, you're going to lose some of those games. But he brought up something interesting, how, our defense is there every night. So, it's not a fluke that they're in all these games and have a chance to win and could have won a few more because their defense has been that consistent. He also mentioned how good they've been with, for the most part, having the mindset of they can't lose those very winnable must-win games. Now, I would say they've lost one of those against Portland at home. They get Portland on Tuesday. They can make that right, or they can right that wrong. And they've made up for it with really big wins. They've beaten Denver twice now. They have beaten Golden State twice now. Great wins. Norman Powell talked about, because they both were at the podium post-game, he and James Harden were having some fun. And you can tell those guys really appreciate each other and have a strong relationship. But Norm answered a question about Terrence Mann and what he brought to the game and what he brings. And he said energy and effort. That's the best thing about T-Man. James Harden was asked about how often he's being fouled on his step-back three-pointer. And he just said it's a difficult shot to block. And when you try to, you end up fouling. He also talked about how he's comfortable in this position, being the scorer again, something he hasn't really been over the last 4 or 5 years in Brooklyn and Philly. He had Embiid, obviously, helped him win MVP, was more of a facilitator. Even in Brooklyn, a lot of the time he was. He's very comfortable back in this position, though, and comfortable leading. He talked about how fun this Clippers group is and how he hopes everybody can see how much they enjoy each other's company. He said it's lit. Like, these guys, they want to see each other do well. They play for one another. This group is a tight-knit group. He talked about holding the fort down till Kawhi gets back again. Norm talked about how there's dogs on this team, just like he said at Media Day. We got dogs on this team. And Norm was asked a question about what's the best thing or what's the most impressive thing about James Harden, especially as you've been on the sidelines the last 6 games. What have you seen from him? And he just mentioned how high his basketball IQ is and how it is, one of the best all time, in my opinion. And then Harden was asked about Norm, what he likes from Norman Powell. And he said it's just him finally getting the opportunity. He said this is like the perfect example of preparation meeting opportunity for Norman Powell. That's what's happened with him. So those two, I encourage you to watch it on Hoops Jab. That's where I was able to listen in and watch that post-game audio. But those two were together. Coach Lou was there. G-Master Funk Flex said, nobody should doubt the beard. He's a top 75 player easy. Spit it out, Oslin. It's getting late. I got about, 15 more minutes here. Nico has been hitting some big shots. When was the 3 that he hit? Do you guys remember at what point of the game was that 3 that Nico Batum hit? If anybody has that, because I feel like it was a significant shot when he got it to go. Was that fourth quarter or was that in the first half? 9:40 mark. Fourth quarter. Nico Batum made it 102-96. Yes. Very significant shot. He talked about how he's found a rhythm after the game in Minnesota where he hit 4. So some guys getting better and progressing to the mean. Ghost said we got to take care of Portland. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Tonight doesn't mean anything if you lose to Portland. If you lose to Minnesota on Wednesday on a back-to-back, that's one thing. But if you start off 2-1 on this homestand because you beat Denver and then beat Portland, you're in real good shape. It's a 4-game homestand. Tim A said Harden gives the Clippers the same confidence that CP3 did when he came over. 2-3 had a mental block against Denver until Harden came over, just a natural leader. Well, it did lose to Denver like 8 or 9 straight times. Till what? They've won 3 straight against them now? Or 4 straight against Denver. Let me look this up. Clippers head-to-head. That was one of the best victories last season when Kawhi and Zubac broke up the Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic pick and roll. That was one of the best moments of the season to me down the stretch. I had never seen a team really do that. They've won 4 straight against Denver now. After having lost, 8 straight it was. Now 4 straight. Awesome to see. Shaw said time to give PJ Tucker some minutes. That's a timeout, right? That's a clear timeout. PJ Tucker is sent home. He doesn't want to be on this team. Thomas said best point guard since Chris Paul. Ryan Garcia says hi. Hi, Ryan. Thomas said Harden, the system is hard to beat. X-Mongo Project said Harden lessened that baiting for foul 3 and is shooting more accurately lately. He's still baiting. Plenty. That's why he keeps getting fouled. Guys, he's getting fouled on a 3 like every game. Does anybody have stats on this? Has it been every game the last, 2 weeks now where Harden has gotten fouled on a 3? Thomas said they need to beat OKC. They lost to him twice so far. They play him once more. Wrestling said he dropped 39 on a good team, so people can't say nothing about his 40-point games. Agree. Some were like, oh, who cares? It's Washington. J-Dog said, Clip Gang. ST said, Scoreman Powell needs to catch on. M7MD Boys said, Adam cooking for us as usual. You the real MVP. I appreciate it, man. I just love this team. I love Clipper Nation. Nights like this. I got to be honest, I was having a really bad week. The last week was tough for me. I don't like not being at the games. I don't travel with them on the road, which is totally understandable. And I'd probably get sick of it after a year. But the games at Intuit give me life, especially games like this. If you guys listened to our call earlier, getting to be, if I'm the Robin next to the Batman that is Carlo Jimenez, I am honored. He's bringing me in. I get to do analysis stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a dream come true. It is a blast. And I felt like I nailed some stuff tonight. I mentioned right away, okay, the Clippers should foul here and not let Denver get off a 3-pointer. That's what happened. Brought up how last time out they didn't foul. And Nikola Jokic got up a 3 and they got lucky and he missed in Denver. And Coach Lou said that was a game plan mistake. Well, they made up for it in this one. And boy, they execute down the stretch. Lamine said Jokic was also 9 for 32. Is that what he ended up? No, I got him 12 for 24. What are you talking about? Amin said, in that game in December last season. He had 2 of his worst games ever as a pro against Ivica Zubac last season. Ray said, Daryl Morey is a liar. I repeat, Daryl Morey is a liar. That was James Harden in China. B. Eliza. How do I say that? B. Best win of the season? It be. I said that coming into Clipper stock. Oscar said, real Adam has more stamina than AI Adam from Radio AM 570. I don't know, man. AI Adam's tough. He gives me problems sometimes. Do you guys want to hear from AI Adam? Are you asking for it? I feel like you are.
Are you a Clippers Talk subscriber?
From day one, baby.
Not only does Adam go live after every Clippers game to take your calls and reaction,
Never miss one.
but even on off days, Adam does episodes at a volume that nobody needs.
Hey!
Tuesday morning while you're working,
Here I am, Clips fans.
he's potting. Sunday on the Lord's Day,
I'm out here worshiping Norm's true shooting.
potting. A holiday you're spending with friends and loved ones,
I'm so lonely.
he's potting. Subscribe at Clippers Talk on YouTube today.
Please help me. That's AI. That's not me.
YouTube today.
Please help me. I kid you not. Please help me. Please help me.
And loved ones.
I'm so lonely.
He-
I'm not that lonely. Carlo Jimenez just texted me.
He's potting. Subscribe at Clippers Talk.
I'm so lonely. Carlo Jimenez just texted me.
Today.
Please help me. He said, I don't know if he's listening. If he is, he should get in here. Should I send Carlo the link? I'm going to send you a link. Come on just for 5 minutes. This would be funny. AI Adam, though. I'm so lonely. Please help me. I just remixed it. Carlo just said the Rockets might be the best team in the West. The Rockets are really good, guys. I was afraid of this coming into this season. I thought they'd be good. I thought they could be a top 6 seed in the West. I didn't think they could be this good. People want Carlo. They want Carlo. They want Carlo. They demand it. Deca said, Justin Rousseau put this out tonight. Tonight was the 24th time that James Harden and Nikola Jokic have gone head-to-head. Harden is now 16-8 all-time against Jokic, the best winning percentage. Ooh, I like that. I didn't know that. Will Carlo come in here? I asked him. The tweet is up. Or the text is out. Amin said, when it was a 3-point game, I was thinking that it would go to it or but oh God. I should mute you, Amin. I'm having trouble reading this. Help me out, my guy. Thank goodness we fouled and won the game. Okay. I am so glad they fouled. I was screaming for them to foul. Do you guys want to see? You know the thread I always put out there? Each and every game, I have a thread running play-by-play. I do. I was losing my mind saying, they have to foul. They have to foul. Don't let them get up a 3. Foul. And they did. And Jokic missed the first. And Harden hit both to put the game away. How about that? Carlo probably instantly regrets texting me. He's like, now Adam's asking me to come on. How can they beat Houston? First of all, they're going to have to have Kawhi Leonard for a game against Houston. They need the physicality that he brings, the power, the force he plays with. That's how you beat Houston. And they do play them 2 more times, guys. So they'll have opportunities. Deca Fantastic said, need a breakdown of the 3-point flurry in the... Maybe I'll get to it. Tim A said, if my math is right, Harden is shooting 41% from 3 over the last 7 games. It probably is, because I can tell you, over the last 6 coming into this one, he was shooting 41% from 3. So I believe your math is correct. Oh, shit. Look out. We got
Double
Wait a second. Oh, there's only one problem here.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can fix this. It can be done. I'm gonna unplug here. Stay with me, Carlo. Carlo, you got me?
I got you. You got me.
I got you now.
Let's go.
Well, maybe I don't have the AM 570 $5,000 mic, but I can at least hear you. And I got my Acer mic, and that's
the
good.
content, baby.
Look at
Not about
this.
quality.
Is it because I asked, or is it because everybody was like, Carlo, come on, Carlo, come on?
Dude, I was editing a TikTok. I had you on in the background, and then I was like, why not? I got time. I'm a
put up the
sicko.
bat signal. I put up the bat signal for Carlo, and he showed up. How awesome is this?
You crazy
What's the TikTok? What's it going to be? Tease it.
You'll see what me and Adam and Jake do when we're in timeout breaks off the air.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We talk a lot of crap is what we do.
Well, it's a little edited, but it's okay. Dude, how about that Russo stat? James Harden, Jokic's social security number?
Yeah, 16-8 against Jokic head to head. That's pretty impressive. I wonder if that's something to do with how hard Jokic has to work defensively against a pick and roll offense like with James Harden.
Yeah.
I mean,
but did you feel like they ran a lot of pick and roll today? I felt like they ISO'd him and then just waited for the double.
I thought at times in the fourth they went to high pick and roll. I think at one point it was like 3 straight positions, or 3 straight possessions. It's fucking late. Excuse my language.
Never too late for some CTAD, baby.
Yeah, Clippers talk after dark. Doesn't sleep. You guys got a question for Carlo? I said he could stay on for like 2 minutes here, so let the guy. If you got a good question, okay. Ray says, Carlo, what is that sound effect you use in all the videos? It adds suspense and breaks my brain every time.
Let's go. Good question, Ray. It's called a riser. You can find them on YouTube. You just look up like riser sound effect, and that's the free suspension.
Okay.
Okay.
The riser, a riser like.
Dude, I love this.
Rising the floor and the ceiling for this team.
Floor, right. Dude, I'm telling you, you're right. When you first said like, okay, healthy Kawhi and they could be a contender, I was like, let's see. I think you're spot on. I think healthy Kawhi, this team's a contender.
It feels like they got everything else right now, bro.
I mean, Norm's giving you 25 a game. Like, Zoo is top 5 in the NBA in offensive rebounds and rebounds per game. Chris Dunn is a top defender in deflections per 36. Like, you have 2 guard defenders. I don't know. Like, what are they missing when you add Kawhi Leonard? What are they missing?
All they're missing is a mid-range assassin that could get his shot up over any defense. And it's going to make your three-point shooting better. Yeah. Tonight, I was thinking about it. So the last 6 games without Norman Powell, they shot 33%.
I heard this, yeah.
And then tonight they go off from 3. Norm's back. He helps spread the floor. Everybody's better because of it. What's Kawhi going to do to their offense? I think they go right back to being a top 10 offense with Kawhi. I think it's that quickly it happens.
Yeah. And the way they play defense, there's no way you'd watch this team and say Kawhi comes, like they're just going to get better. Like they will only get better on defense. They're a fantastic rebounding team. You mentioned it earlier that is probably the biggest surprise of the year. I'd agree with you 100%. They are one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA, and they added no size. Like, they did not add size. They simply added heart, and they're the best rebounding team in the league, or one of the best.
I never would have expected that. That's the biggest surprise to me of this season so far, because without them closing out possessions, being the best defensive rebounding team, without that, they aren't this good of a defense.
No, it's one and done every time.
if you have Kawhi, you also have another lineup you can play where he can play some center and do that low man, last line of defense at a level that not many guys can in this league.
No, you think this defense is stifling now? Oh my God, they're gonna be they're gonna be a headache. They're gonna be a headache.
So Ross asks, when Kawhi comes back, who sits?
I don't know.
I think it could be Norm, but
Because he could get the same volume theoretically off the bench.
It's probably done. They probably keep Norm in the starting line.
And then you have a ball handler. Yeah.
Because Kawhi can handle the rock too and do some of the stuff that Dunn has done to alleviate the taxing position that James Harden's been in.
Yeah.
Even though he's now getting better and is talking about how his legs feel better. And I guess it's real. Like, I'm going to have to take the L probably on thinking that until Kawhi Leonard comes back, James Harden's shooting is probably not going to get that much better. Well, it's happening, and Kawhi's not back yet, so.
Yeah. It's all that sleep. He said he's been sleeping 9 hours a night. Get your sleep, guys, unlike Adam.
He said that?
Yeah, he did say that. He said for the first time in his career, he's sleeping like 9 hours a night, and he used to sleep 5 to 6. He told Lauren Rose in our sideline report of that, but she reported on it. I forget what game it was, but I was like, wow, he used to drop 40 on 5 hours of sleep. I couldn't call a game on 5. Well, I could, but not well on 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. You get older, you need that sleep. What else do we got in here? Jeremy Gonzalez is asking or saying favorite player of all time. Let's pretend he's asking. Carlo, who's your favorite player of all time?
All time? Gosh, I don't even know.
If it's Steph, that's fine. He is one of the greatest players ever.
No, see, I was never a Steph guy because I was like, I don't want to cheer for like the number one guy on the Warriors. Like, that's not cool. So I was more like a Clay guy when I was a kid. But
I fucking love Clay.
Clay was fun. Until things went sideways. Then I don't know what happened over there. I'll tell you what, when Steph Curry looked like he was the most emotional I've ever seen him, and after he beat Klay Thompson, I was like, wow, something happened in that locker room. I was like, that man won 4 finals. He never looked like that. I don't know. I'd have to think about that, to be honest.
How do you feel about this next 2 games with the back-to-back? First Portland, then the Timberwolves. Because there is a price and a tax to be paid for Harden playing almost 40 minutes, and you have a back-to-back coming up. You brought it up on the broadcast. I guess the hope is you dismantle Portland, which is something they weren't able to do last time.
I think Ty probably feels a lot of confidence because unlike when they played Portland the first time, the teams they've played that they're supposed to blow out, they've blown them out. Like, it hasn't been close. Like, they blew out Philadelphia, they blew out Washington. Harden played 31 minutes and then I think 27 minutes in the Philly game. So you're probably thinking he's probably hedging his bets. Jordan Miller's playing so well. I think you can ask him to carry more load. You have Norm now, who's probably playing 28 minutes. So they're probably just hoping, like, got to do what we've been doing against bad teams. And then, I don't know, Adam. I would say in the past, like, that's going to be a tough Minnesota game. It won't be easy, but the Clippers get up for second nights of back-to-backs. Like, they really do. I know Boston was the second night of back-to-back, but outside of Boston, they get up. They love that challenge. They're dogs. This is a team full of dogs.
It is crazy how much everything they talked about at Media Day and with you in Honolulu in training camp has come to fruition. Everything.
Crazy.
Like, they are backing it up. Addition by subtraction, them being dogs, a bunch of guys who have been waiting for an opportunity. They're going to be a top 5 defense. Everything's holding up beautifully. Yeah. and
you look.
Go ahead.
I mean, and they shot 31% from 3 and have won 4 games. Like, Are you kidding me? Like there's no. I don't think the beginning of the year. I think me and you talked about how okay, Chris Dunn and Derek Jones Jr. are shooting 50% from three. Like they're probably not going to shoot 50% from three this year, and they've come back down. They're still shooting about 40%, but they've come back down to earth-like numbers, and this team is still good. Like their defense is. That's the thing. Like I was talking to Brian Shaw before the game today, and he said, like, I'll take the way we play defense. Like we'll be okay. Like he didn't seem concerned. He didn't seem worried because if you're gonna hold teams to under 100, that's the hard part. Like they do the hard part well.
Chris Dunn is now, I believe, 11 for his last 41 from three. And he still is one of the best players and most important players on this team, and they're still winning ball games. So when they start hitting threes like tonight where they hit 18, they can beat anyone.
anyone.
Yeah. Someone's asking about who's the backup point guard today. Terrence Mann was playing some point guard.
Yeah.
And
I was a little surprised no Bones, but T-Man was playing so well, you weren't going to sub him out.
I think this was probably the most telling game
for the skeleton key.
Bones Highland. If Bones cannot play in a game like this tonight, guys, I think he's on the outs. I think we've known this for a long time, but that was pretty revealing. If he can't play in a game like this, then when can Bones Highland play? If Norman Powell was out still, then maybe Bones Highland, I would think, would have to play. But outside of that, I don't know. We know there have been attitude issues. They got sent home with PJ Tucker last year. He had issues with Denver. And during some of those garbage time minutes the last year or so, he has not looked like he is playing serious basketball at times. And that's unfortunate. But we move.
No.
All right. Carl, you good? You got anything else when we get off?
No, man. I'll keep listening.
I'm done. I'm saying I'm getting out.
You're pulling off?
The show. It's 12:21. How much longer are you staying up with the TikTok?
No, you're right. I should go to bed.
You got a back-to-back coming up.
Yeah, but then Adam, for the first time since October 27th, we have more than one day off. So,
Is it 3?
It's 3 days. 3 days. We haven't
Thursday,
had
Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, we haven't had 2 days off. I mean, Friday will come and I'll be like, we don't have a game, but right now, it sounds cool.
I thought I saw Law post that there's a 13-day stretch here in December where there's only going to be 3 games.
Yeah. December 8th, they play Houston. Then we have our 2 in-season tournament games. And that's it. And then we don't play till we do the baseball series in Dallas.
It feels like an oasis in the desert. It feels. How could this be?
This Clipper team just had their hardest month schedule-wise, I would say. I mean, they
what
couldn't
about
practice.
March?
March is tough, but they have 2 days off for a couple times.
Do they?
Sure. I'm going to look right now.
The worst is behind us?
I would argue because you couldn't even practice, the worst is behind us, but I'm looking up the schedule.
I would love.
I think they do play 17 in March, though.
Oh, yeah. The Ides of March is definitely happening.
March has 1 2-day break.
And they didn't have any in November.
No, November.
I think it's official then.
Yeah.
The worst month is behind us, and they more than survived it. They got 10 wins, right?
Without 10. Did Law tweet that? I didn't read the whole tweet.
I thought I saw something from Law, like the only teams to get 10 wins in November, and the Clippers were one of 7.
I think you're right.
That's pretty outstanding.
Especially considering you still don't have Kawhi Leonard and you missed Norman Powell for 6 of those games.
The one thing I keep thinking for every win is they just bought Kawhi Leonard a little bit more time to get as close to 100% as possible. And they're not playing him until he is.
No. I mean, you heard Norman Powell postgame with Lauren say that he was fighting the training staff to play. Like, this is a training staff and an organization that is, they're not putting anybody out there unless they have 110% certainty they're okay.
I really like the idea of we're not putting them out there until we fully believe that they can stay out there.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense,
The
especially
Mo
for
Bamba
Kawhi Leonard,
thing. The Mo Bamba thing. I mean, another example, right?
who he said he was playing hurt in Philly with the same injury,
Yeah.
and then he comes to the Clippers, and they're like, oh, no. You're not playing through this.
Yeah.
And he looks really spry so far, like
Yeah.
shockingly spry.
Yeah. No, he's been good.
He hit a big 3 in the 4th.
Big 3. The fact that he can shoot threes changes it. I mean, it's a whole nother ball game.
He had that crazy kind of reverse layup, too. That was tough.
Dude, he's good. No wonder they recruited him like crazy.
And he likes Kawhi.
And he likes Kawhi.
They like each other, like me and Carlo. All right. This is it. I'm done. I'm done with tonight. Carlo,
Okay, good.
thanks for coming in here. Jack says, nylon. We love you guys. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday, pregame, 6:30. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers back at Intuit Dome. Please check out the radio side. We're doing some work over there. A lot of it. We love this team. We'll talk to you guys soon. Carlo, thanks for coming on tonight.
Anytime, Adam.
I'm Adam
See you.
Osland. This has been another edition of Clippers Talk. Carlo, say it with me. Let's
go!